My parents found out how much I was making and demanded half my paycheck. I gave them something they never expected. Throwaway account because my family knows my main. Money was the loudest thing in our house growing up. Not because we had it, because we never had enough. My dad had a habit of quitting jobs whenever he felt someone had disrespected him. My mom would sigh, tell us not to upset him, and somehow the financial problems always became our problems. My brother Wesley escaped into sports and headphones. For a long time, I resented him for it. Eventually, I realized he was just a kid trying to survive the only way he knew how. When I was 16, I got a job at a grocery store. My first paycheck felt like freedom. It wasn't much, but it was mine. I had been saving for a pair of sneakers and a phone that wasn't cracked. I was so proud of that first paycheck that I carried it around in my wallet for days. Then one afternoon, my mom asked me for grocery money. "Don't worry," she said. "We'll pay you back." They never did. Then it became gas money, then a water bill, then a car repair, then another emergency. Before long, my paycheck wasn't really mine anymore. My mom would tell everyone how responsible I was. At the time, I thought it was a compliment. Eventually, I realized it was a trap. Wesley eventually found his escape through college. Somehow, counselors, teachers, and even a neighbor who occasionally gave us leftover food helped him get there. I helped too. Every time my parents called something an emergency, I sent money home. After graduation, I finally got an entry-level job in insurance. It wasn't glamorous. Cubicles, spreadsheets, long days. But for the first time in my life, I had a steady paycheck coming in every 2 weeks. I could pay my own bills. I could afford my own apartment. I could finally breathe. The first night I ordered takeout, sat on my apartment floor and cried happy tears. I remember thinking, nobody can turn my life into their emergency anymore. Or so I thought. My parents still called. "Hey kiddo." Eventually, I realized that phrase didn't mean they missed me. It meant they wanted money. So one night, I opened my bank statements and started building a spreadsheet. Every transfer, every check, every just this once, every emergency. I added everything together. The total made me sick. I stopped halfway through, but I didn't delete the spreadsheet. Instead, I kept adding to it every time they asked me for money. Years passed. My career improved. I got promotions, raises, my own office. Then came my biggest promotion yet, a real raise. For the first time, I thought maybe my parents would actually be proud of me. So I called my mom. The first thing she asked was, "How much are they paying you now?" 3 days later, my parents showed up at my apartment. My father had a calculator. My mother had a typed agreement. They sat at my table, worked out the numbers, and told me they wanted 50% of my take-home pay every month. For how long? I asked. My father looked at me like the answer was obvious. Forever. I stared at the agreement. My mom tried to make it sound reasonable. "We raised you." My dad added, "You owe us." Then he said something that still sticks with me. "You're single. What do you need all that money for?" I said no. My dad slammed his hand on the table. For a moment, nobody spoke. Then I stood up. I walked over to the cabinet and pulled out an envelope. I'd been preparing for a financial appointment. I placed it on the table. My mother's face immediately lit up. She thought it was cash. She smiled as she opened it. Then she looked inside. The smile disappeared. Inside was the spreadsheet. Every dollar I'd given them since I was 16. Every transfer, every check, every emergency, and the running total. At the bottom, I'd written one simple note. Debt paid in full, multiple times over. This is the last help you'll ever get from me. Nobody said anything. My father stared at the paper. His calculator sat uselessly between them. My mother didn't even look at me. They read the entire thing in silence. Then they stood up. They didn't take the agreement. They didn't ask for money. They didn't argue. They simply walked out. I locked the door behind them. Then I sat on my tiny balcony, looking at the plants I still constantly forget to water. And for the first time in years, I finally exhaled. I don't know if my parents will ever understand what they did. Maybe they will. Maybe they won't. But I finally understood something myself. Helping your family is one thing. Spending your entire life proving that you owe them is another. And I was done paying a debt that had already been paid multiple times over.